Hi everyone, thanks for being with me. Now, as the world burns and as we sit back and wait for President Trump to eat his bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken and decide what the United States is going to do in terms of the Middle East, I'm watching Sharri Markson. Now, as I've said before, she's a joy. Like watching her, she has a lot to offer. Most of it's crap, but nevertheless, she is entertaining. So I'm going to play a clip which I've just come upon, where she's talking about what's happening between Israel and Iran, and it's interesting because I think she's delighted that this is happening, that she's excited about the fact that Israel's going to bomb the daylights out of Iran. Who cares how many people get killed? It's completely irrelevant as far as someone like Sharri's concerned. Let's just bomb the crap out of those terrible people and get it over and done with. And anyway, in the meantime, while she's doing that, she's she casts over to a couple of Australian journalists from the Australian, who are, I like this, they're sitting in their car in Tel Aviv reporting on what is happening. And actually there's nothing to report on. And it's quite fascinating. So I'm going to play it for you, mainly because I've got nothing else to do this afternoon. But I'm going to play it for you because I think it's funny. And it's something worth having a bit of a chuckle at Sharri's expense, and particularly, I guess, at Sky News and Murdoch Press expense. So let's have a look.
Well, let's cross live to Israel now after another night of missiles, but they are fewer in number as supplies dwindle, with Israel destroying at least a third of the missile launches. There were fires. I
don't know how that. Well, a third of the missiles launched into Israel. That's probably true. The thing was, some of them got through. So their little dome isn't as bigger and as effective as what they initially thought.
But thankfully, no casualties overnight. Now, two journalists from The Australian went into the war zone just as everyone else was.
They went into the war zone. The war zone's Tel Aviv. So it isn't like they're on the front. Oh, no. It isn't like they're on the front lines in Ukraine, right? It's a wee bit different. And I just love the look. Anyway, you decide for yourself.
To leave. Leah Mendes and Yoni Bashan join me now from Tel Aviv. Welcome to you both. Yoni usually is.
They're looking. I just want to note that they're looking very afraid that this is a war zone in which they must be wondering whether the next few minutes may be the last breath they ever take. That this is a fearful situation, and that death is imminent. I think this is the way these two guys are looking right now. Or maybe it's just because they're on Sharri Markson's show and they don't know what else to do.
Israelis feel relatively safe under the Iron Dome and the other air defence systems, but the onslaught of missiles and drones from Iran meant that some slipped through. This was inevitable. There were fewer, though, last night. Is this an indication from what you're hearing that Iran is running out of arsenal?
Well, I think that's certainly the hope.
I love this bit. So Sharri, in true Sharri fashion, makes an assumption which is completely unfounded. And this guy's saying, don't know whether I necessarily agree with you on this.
The sooner that they run out of their arsenal, the sooner life in Israel can go back to normal. I mean, we've been here a few days. If you take a stroll through the streets of Tel Aviv, the place is empty. You drive around, there's no one here. It's basically COVID-esque once again. I think it's very difficult to know whether the arsenal is actually being depleted because on the one hand, the Iranians are trumpeting every night that tonight it's going to be the really big one that we've all been waiting for. And on the other hand, we've got statements coming from the Israeli government saying the defensive arrays have been annihilated and they're taking out individual launches in Iran itself. So we're getting conflicting messages from both sides. But what I can tell you is that from us on the ground here, when the siren goes off, when the alert comes through your phone, you're not thinking about how many are coming through. You're just running to the safe room and just hoping for the best.
Yeah, and I hope you are doing that indeed. You both took some incredible footage of the ballistic missiles coming in from Iran the night before last, I understand it. Let's have a look.
I I actually think this bit's really pathetic. So this footage, we've all seen this footage. Don't know whether it came from these guys or whatever, or they borrowed it from someone else. But I'm sure there are lots of people with cameras who had them shooting, looking towards the sky as the rockets were coming in and going out. But anyway, the point is she carries on with this for quite some time. So be prepared to be bored. Enough, I'm bored already. So this is Sharri Markson reporting to the world about something she's kind of delighting in, being an extreme right-wing pro-Israeli type person, that this is a moment to celebrate because it looks like Israel's going to wipe out Iran. Well, that's probably not going to happen in the short term. Who knows what the future holds? But it's an interesting time, and we must brace for what I think could be the worst, which could be the United States getting involved, which would actually mean Trump would have to go back on everything that he said. The reasons why half of the country voted for him really was because he declared he would not enter into any other wars. So be it. And we know Trump lies anyway, so it wouldn't be a surprise. So let me know what you think in the comments section below. In the meantime, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. Take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, make sure that you and the people that you love are safe.